11 months. That's the amount of time we try to build as much muscle as we can. But in this month of Ramadan, most of us will struggle thinking whether we'll be able to keep our muscles. How much food do we eat? How should we distribute the protein? How many times of the day should we work out? Whether we should work out or not. I'm going to tell you in this video all of these questions and my exact routine that helped me keep and even slightly build muscle. In order to get answers, stick with me until the end of the video. Let's find out. In Ramadan last year, I was not having any plan. I was not recording my number of sets, number of repetitions. I was not thinking how many days a week I would train. And so I would go work out sometimes twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, sometimes finish my week with no workout at all. My diet, I was eating random things. I did not count my protein. Sometimes I would take 2 meals, sometimes 3 meals. My hydration, I had no idea. I was sleeping less. Of course, our sleep is challenged during Ramadan. All of these things combined, the result, at the end of 30 days of Ramadan, I lost a significant amount of muscle to a point that I even felt weaker. So that's why this year I decided to go into the Ramadan with a plan. So I decided that I would work out 5 days a week. These are the same days that I would normally train in any other month. And I also write down how much protein I would take and how many meals I'm going to take. So I decided that I'm just going to have 2 meals, like in iftar and 1 meal in suhoor, just to keep things simple. Now, since I'm taking 1 gram per pound of my body weight, me being a 160-pound individual, my total protein target goal was also 160 grams, meaning per meal my target was 80 grams of protein. Next most important thing was to decide which time should I train. So last time I preferred doing pre-iftar, but I had a hard time pushing in the gym because you're not hydrated. You also want to push a little bit harder to keep your muscles, but unfortunately that did not work out well for me because I had no energy. And so this time I thought that, hey, if I'm going to keep spinning the wheels just like last time, I would not be able to get anything done. So this time I made this change to do workout right after iftar. Now let's go. Let me show you my first meal of suhoor that had 80 grams of protein. So I'm making myself eggs for suhoor. I typically use 3 eggs for high protein, and also the fact that I like eating eggs. It's my favorite source of protein, especially in the morning. I don't like eating chicken or any meat source because I don't know, it's something about the morning that it's hard for me to chew on the meat. I just like easily digestible protein items, and eggs is one of them. While eggs are getting ready, I'm gonna make myself a couple slices of bread. These were frozen. I like to freeze my bread so that they stay longer, they don't expire. So that's one of the pro tips. I also like to spread on some unsalted peanut butter from HEB, and I also like to use a little bit of regular butter and with honey. So it's just a pro combo. It tastes just really good with a little bit of honey. So I'm gonna make some of these. So the toast is ready, my eggs are ready. I use non-stick pan right here. I have used no oil, although we need calories during Ramadan, but I prefer not to add any oil to my eggs. I just cook it like that. If you prefer it, feel free to use it. So this is my all suhoor meal. I also like to eat 15 grams, 1 cup of yogurt. It has 15 grams protein. I already have my finished my shake. I like to put 1 scoop of protein in it, and this is a separate jar that I use for water. So I drink 1 full 700 milliliter of water from this one. So this keeps me sufficiently hydrated and full throughout the rest of the day. So it's working for me, but if you like to add in different stuff, you can add it. Just make sure that you consume sufficient amount of protein. For me, the total meal, this meal contains 80 grams of protein, sufficient carbs and fats for the rest of the day. If you have gotten any value in this video so far, don't forget to hit that like button and do consider subscribing to my channel. During iftar, all I do is I take a couple of dates to have sufficient carbohydrates, and I drink 700 milliliter of water. That thing alone completely squashes my hunger. Then I prepare my intra-workout shake that I'm trying to show you how I do it. I try to consume all this shake during my workout so that it keeps me hydrated and I don't lose energy. Workout performance does not suffer at all. So how I prepare it, as a thumb rule, what I do is I use a 1:2 ratio of protein and carbs. So that means that I use 16 grams of protein. One serving is 33 grams, so I just take about 16 grams of protein. I measure it, and then I use twice of carbs, twice of protein. So that would be around 24 grams. But to make it simple, I just use 30 grams because it's just easy to remember. So I measure that as well. Around 30 grams. I like to add a pinch of salt. That way it tastes a little bit better, and it also helps with the hydration because you need electrolytes, right? All you need is electrolytes. I feel like without it, it's just more bland. So I just use it for taste. So I fill it up with water all the way to the top. So I see people, they sometimes bring the separate glass of jar of water along with the Gatorade. What I like to do is I just use one so that I don't have to carry two separate bottles for water and get Gatorade individually. That keeps things simple. And 2 ice cubes. Just keep it cold. When you work out, it's a lot of sweat, so the colder it is, tastier it gets. The workout plan that I had was I was working 5 days a week, and since I was prioritizing my arms in this month of Ramadan, I was making sure that I dedicated 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, completely for arms. And for each of these 3 days, I was doing 7 sets for bicep, tricep, and forearm. A total of 21 sets per week. Although it might sound a lot, but I was doing rest pause or drop sets just to squeeze all of these sets in a shorter amount of time. And since we are hard pressed on time during the month of Ramadan because we have to go do the Isha prayer, I think use all of these techniques of supersets, rest pause sets, myo rep sets during your training. The remaining 2 days, Tuesday and Thursday, I was dedicating to all the other body parts, and I was doing a total of 4 sets per week for those body parts. Means 2 sets per session of each of other body part. Is I was doing 2 sets, but I was pushing each of that set to complete failure. And so here's the thing, what I noticed is that once you drop your volume, the quality of your set matters more than anything else. So if you're doing lower volume, because you're pressed on time, make sure that as much as possible, try to push it close to failure, especially on machine exercises. The biggest thing that made difference for me in this month of Ramadan was my intra-workout shake. Before starting my workout, before pushing my set to failure, I made sure that I consistently sipped that intra-workout shake throughout my workout. That helped me a lot pushing my sets close to failure. And guys, trust me when I say this, that thing only might be the biggest difference maker for you to either keeping muscle or losing muscle, especially in the month of Ramadan or intermittent fasting. Now comes the big meal after iftar. What I do here like to do is have 1 serving of chicken, 1 serving of salmon or any fish, 150 grams of rice, fiber source like lentils. I mixed it with the avocado dips for healthy fats. I also prefer having a cucumber along with it, and also a couple of servings of my favorite fruit. I love plums, melon, along with kiwis. So this meal in total again also gives me around 80 grams of protein. So overall, I have been consistently eating gram per pound or 160 gram protein per day. Note guys, I also made sure that I drink at least 700 milliliter of water with each meal, and that also includes my intra-workout shake that also has 700 milliliter of water. So after 23 days of following this schedule in Ramadan and diet pattern, this is the result that you can see on the screen. And now what I would say is Ramadan is, or intermittent fasting, is so perfect. It comes at the right time because having the availability of minimum food during the day when we're not eating anything, that helps you shrink your belly size. But since you're also working so hard in the gym trying to push each set to failure, you are trying to build muscle. Although I kept muscle during this period, but since my belly fat was melting because of the fast, my body was in a recomp phase. So overall, I looked like I have become more jacked, and it gave an illusion that I am becoming much fitter. My clothes started fitting much better, and I felt better overall. Here's a summary of what we have all learned from my routine. Number one, keep your protein intake about 100 gram per pound. Number two, divide this protein equally between the two meals, suhoor and iftar. 3. Make sure you're sufficiently hydrated. I recommend 700 milliliter of water in every meal, or one water bottle of 500 milliliters. Do low volume, but do higher volume on the body parts you're prioritizing. Push every set close to failure, but only push the last set close to failure for the body part you're prioritizing. Next, track your workouts, and last but not least, aim to sleep at least 7 to 8 hours every day. See you guys next time.